Welcome to Queer 20 by Ego Monk. It is the annual celebration of 20 queer Indians who have made a mark in business, technology, and society. Today we are joined by Christina, a graduate student at TISS and an Adivasi from the Munda tribe, whose work lies in the intersections of Adivasi, transgender, and child rights. What do you think are the major issues that are being faced by the Adivasi community today in the country?
Colonialism did not die after independence. That's how I can put it. We are still experiencing colonialism by the Indian state. And I know the statement might bring some trouble for me, but that is how it is. Like, Adivasis are not Christian, they are not Hindus. Like, the religion of the Adivasi communities is not Christianity, it is not Hinduism, it is not Islam. The religion for Chota Nagpur, for Mundas, if I have to speak, is Sarna. That is the religious practice of the community. Of course, many Adivasis have converted to Christianity, many have converted to Islam, and many have converted to Hinduism as well. That does not make the Adivasi individual any less Adivasi. At the same time, that does not change the religion of the community. So now what I'm saying is like, and this thing is learned, was initially brought in by missionaries, by Christian missionaries. Now this practice of colonizing religion, of colonizing knowledge systems is very much adopted and changed, like is very much adopted and used by dominant Savarna forces in India. So now the Savarna forces are saying that Adivasis are Hindus, which is not true. Adivasis ka religion kafi alag hai. Sarna is a completely different religion than Hinduism. It is not the same. Though some practices might be similar, but it does not make dono religion ko same.
What is the space that the LGBTQ community enjoys within the Adivasi circle, like in the Adivasi culture, in the Adivasi community?
Again, see, Adivasi communities are not heteronormative values and worldview are still there. So it is not that I cannot keep Adivasi communities in a pedestal saying that you have to be incorporating everything. वो नहीं है. It is heteronormative. At the same time, there is some level of engagement. And we are trying to move in some direction. So just for example, this Adivani is working on this one book, and even it's an anthology of articles, it's write-ups by various Adivasi women across Adivasi and tribal women across the nation. And we are trying to look at what feminism means for Adivasi, being an Adivasi woman. And fortunately that Adivani has tried to move out of this entire turfness, exclusionary radical feminism. So, and we are trying to critically look and engage with notions of gender within Adivasi community itself. So that is something it's happening. It's not that and at the same time, it's not that it's all great, but it is moving.
Is there, like, being a member of the Adivasi community, of the Munda community to be specific, also being a part of the LGBTQ community, do you think that you've ever faced like a situation of double marginalization, like where you're being victimized for your identity, both culturally and through your gender? Like that, has that ever happened?
I don't know. I can tell you stories and then maybe you can draw conclusions out of that. Since 2016 in Mumbai, I've been involved with the Mumbai Queer Circle, the organizing group of Mumbai Pride. And again, there we have been trying to say कि मतलब if the entire conversation is in English, if all the meetings are taking place in posh locations, then it would be exclusionary for many individuals, specifically people coming from various Bahujan communities, people coming from Adivasi, people coming from Adivasi communities. So, but the response that we have got is, I don't know, it was not a very good response that we received from the who's who within the circle. I will not name anyone, but then that's how it is. So whenever Ambedkarite queer people carry Jai Bhim flag in Mumbai Pride, there is always a hangama after that.
Okay. Yeah.
There is always a hangama. We are sick and tired of it. They're like, they will not even call it Jai Bhim flag. They will not even call it Ambedkarite flag. सीधा like तुम दलित flag क्यों लेके आए हो? ये तो queer pride है. Without understanding that, without like Ambedkar के काम के बिना तुम्हारा ये queer movement इंडिया में possible नहीं है. कर ही नहीं सकते Ambedkar के काम के बिना यहाँ पर queer movement. The thing is, caste is everywhere. And this caste capital and caste network is everywhere. If you look into this trans bill right now, right now as an act, it got passed because of caste capital and caste networks from within the community, from within transgender community.
But hasn't
got validation from transgender people because of their caste capital and caste network. And whereas the transgender, intersex, genderqueer community throughout the nation was saying that हमें ये bill नहीं चाहिए, हमें ये bill act के तौर पे नहीं चाहिए, please take your time, work on it. तिरुचि सिवा का भी bill है, maybe you can think of that. So we were crying out, voicing out, but then again, caste capital, caste networks operates everywhere.
What kind of representation has gender in general, like person's gender, found in tribal literature and other forms of tribal art?
Again, I will. The understanding of gender is again within the binary, and this very question we were discussing when we had met, as in for the anthology, the contributors, we all had one discussion in Bhopal last year. So we all sat together and we were trying to discussing our respective papers and seeing how we can better it and all of that. So this question was raised, what is gender within traditional folklore, within Adivasi literatures? And it is in binary. I cannot negate that. At the same time, we need to understand that documentation of folk literature was done by missionaries primarily. And when these missionaries were documenting it, translating it and documenting it, then they brought in their thought process, their worldview as well. So a lot of quote unquote sanitization has taken place by Christian missionaries trying to fit in Adivasi folk literature within their moral understandings. So we need to decolonize folk literature as well. And this is something which Ruby Hembrim pointed out. We need to write our own stories. We need to define things as we want it to be understood by others. We need to write our own stories from our own perspective. So it's not too late to write folk literature. We can still work on it. Yeah.